Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nonprofits Punch Back with AI for Social Justice. I'm Tina Kraus, and this is our co-host Deepa Chowdhury. I'm an AI trainer. I work with specifically in the nonprofit sector, usually with women and underrepresented groups, to help them think before, during, and after using the AI. So I teach approach and usage, and I run private in-person workshops as well as speaking at conferences and publishing articles, which you can read on Charity Village or LinkedIn. So that's my intro. Deepa, do you want to take it away?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Deepa. I'm a social entrepreneur and have worked in the nonprofit space forever. And I saw what AI can do and how it can transform our society way back in 2023. And I was very bullish on AI because as a social entrepreneur who has struggled her entire life, lacking resources to actually fully realize our vision, I was like totally blown away with AI. I'm like, I can now do everything possible. The first thing is I wanted to enable other social entrepreneurs. So I founded grantorb.com, which is an AI-powered grant system that helps you win 100x more grants that you can ever dream of. So if in the past you've only applied for 5 grants, now you can apply for 1,000 grants and win like 500 grants. It's all a numbers game. So it's completely effortless, and that's what my core focus area is. But I also train social entrepreneurs and nonprofit leaders on how to use AI for good, since it's a new technology and a lot of them are grappling with it, just like Tina is doing that. And I also write on LinkedIn about AI for nonprofits, how I have a newsletter with a great following. And I write about different topics on a lot of how-to guides. So if you're looking to like how to create images, how to create videos, so that's the go-to place for that.
That's great. So I'll share my screen and we'll get started with the presentation today. So it's coming up in just 1 second. Great. So this is Nonprofits Punch Back for Social Justice AI with AI. And this is an area that both Deepa and I are very, very, find very, very important to both of us, that it's important to use AI for social good, and social justice is the place for us to apply this type of tool for the betterment of everyone. So you heard our introductions, and you'll be able to see our contact information at the end of the presentation. So the agenda today: how do we enact social justice using AI? Our first part is going to be on ethics, safety, and conduct. The 6 principles of responsible AI are so similar to what all of us practice in the nonprofit sector. I think you'll be surprised, and I hope a little bit assured when you see them. We're also going to tackle job loss and bias, because those are very, very important to us and to you. Also, about the environmental footprint. You can use AI in a responsible way, and we'd like to show you how to do it. And then, of course, we're going to reserve the last half an hour for the discussion with the participants. And thank you so, so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I like to quickly jump in and say before Tina starts, like there's a lot of concern amongst nonprofit leaders and social entrepreneurs about AI. Like there are a lot of these like, oh, is AI going to take a job away? Is it bad for the environment? Oh my gosh, this technology is so biased. We don't want to use it. So the whole focus today is to basically address all the top concerns that we have about AI, because Tina as a social impact leader and I as a social impact leader have not really faced any issues with AI. In fact, AI has been highly beneficial with the stuff that we do. Like it has, for instance, accelerated my speed of doing things. I'm able to accomplish far more things, and I'm able to do things that I could never imagine of, like make videos, make music, make images, things I didn't have these skills. So we just want to basically help address all those concerns, the top concerns that are there, and that's what we're going to go through. If you have any questions, we'll be sharing this video on YouTube and LinkedIn. So feel free to comment there and we'll be happy to take your concerns.
Yeah, great. Thanks for adding all that, Deepa. We really do want to show people the very easy ways to use the AI, as I said, responsibly, so that you get what you need and the sector improves. We can deal with the potential harms, the bias, the environmental impact. We can do that. So please stay with us for the next 20 minutes or so we can show you some tips and tricks. So the first thing that I wanted to cover with people is the 6 principles of responsible AI. Now, I think most of us in the nonprofit sector already practice these, and I wanted to point that out for people. Since we already have, as a sector, the professional behaviors that align with accountability, inclusiveness, reliability and safety, fairness, transparency, privacy and security, all of us take these very, very seriously and action them in our own nonprofits. So here is responsible AI with those exact same topics. You already know how to use them. Now, please learn how to use the tool so that you can support these areas. So I teach people in my training sessions that they have to adopt a responsible AI mindset. So as we've listed here, it's really not about mastering prompts. If you're having trouble with prompts, there are a number of prompt libraries. You can do a Google search and find really excellent prompts, hundreds of them for whatever you're wanting to do. It's about the mindset. You have to apply critical thinking. You have to bring your sense of ethical responsibility and inclusive adoption. We already do this in the nonprofit sector. Now, when we use AI as a technology, we have to apply that same mindset. So we're looking for fairness and inclusivity and transparency, which means as you're working with the AI, are you telling clients when you are using it? Are you discussing it with your staff? Are you using a second prompt to check for accuracy? And when there is some possibility that fairness is not being applied or bias is showing up, do you have a means for addressing it? This is the same for privacy and security. It is our responsibility as Canadians to keep protecting data privacy, our own and our clients. You can do this with AI. You can do it in a number of ways, like teaching the AI to do things better when the bias or something shows up, deleting data that is too personal that you don't want left when you're using generative AI, or anonymizing the work that you're putting into the system. There really is very little need to put identifying markers. You can ask questions and get the results and the outputs without exposing yourself or your clients to having that data read and kept somewhere that you can't see and you don't know about. And so social justice needs good decision making, and that includes using the AI. So I want to point out here, this is a quote from Cassie Korsakov. I really love this woman's work. She's absolutely fantastic. So she's saying AI doesn't have judgment, values, or accountability. It's a tool. We have to remember that. And it also has errors. So we have to plan for those, like I mentioned a minute ago, using the second prompt that says, prove that the answer is accurate and show your work. Just like a math teacher from when we were in grade school. Ask the AI to prove that the answer that you've received is accurate. At least once a week, I find out that it's not. And because it's showing me the work, I can see the articles that it's drawing from and where it's made its error, and I can tell it to correct it. And that's not just one AI. Typically, across several Gen AIs, you will find that same error. And so I tell them, when the correction is recorded, okay, now update the LLM. And who knows how many millions of other people on this planet of 7 billion people are also telling the large language models, nope, that's not correct. This is the right answer. Update. You don't know. So take a minute and do it yourself. Whenever you find it that it's not accurate, and then you teach it to be accurate. Human expertise is what AI needs right now. Keep responsibility where it belongs, with humans. We are the users. So this tool, this very, very impressive tool, what seems like it's very, very smart, needs us to use it well. And that responsibility is ours, which is responsible AI. Its usage, how you understand how to use it, who gets impacted when we use it. This is all under responsible AI. And the last one, and I think that we're aware of this, but we don't take it into practice. AI mirrors the input. Don't let it replace your judgment. We all know how much junk there is on the internet. So that's where AI is drawing its information. When you see an inaccuracy, when you see that there are other explanations, alternative solutions, type or discuss those with the AI. It will improve your thinking as you try to improve the tool. So Anthropic, the company that produced Claude, which is one of the Gen AIs that competes with ChatGPT and DeepSeek and those, they have the 4Ds framework, and it's mostly for developers, but I see it working exactly the same in the nonprofit sector. So this could be our framework for using AI. The first one is delegation. What to hand off to AI and what to keep for humans. Make decisions about that. That's how you write your policies. If anybody's interested, the Beatty Foundation has some policies. I've converted them I had them translated into English, about 5 pages for policy on AI. That's excellent. You should look them up. BATIE. BAT Foundation in Quebec. Description, clearly communicate what you want. This is so significant. If we make errors in our ask, if we don't understand what we want the tool, the technology to do, we will make mistakes. So clarity and communicating that is incredibly important. And it's not just with the prompts, it's also what tools, when we use them, who has access to them, who are we helping with them. Just 1 minute. Discernment, how to evaluate critically. It is incredibly important if you are using AI to set up an evaluation. And this is very similar. Every nonprofit who's ever received a grant has had to evaluate their work at the end of the grant. Since we do this behavior in the sector continuously, it's no big issue to also evaluate when we're using the tools. So you set up the program, you ask the AI how to help you develop it, and you make sure that there is evaluation at the end of it. And the diligence. This is where responsible AI really comes in. How do you use it transparently? So for organizations who are using AI to triage all of their email or perhaps their intake, you have to be willing to tell people that this is happening so that you can then say it's just to reduce the workload so that we can spend the best time that we have with you. That's the way to explain it to your client. It's in everyone's best interest to know when the AI is being used. And currently, the majority of AI that's being used in our society, being used on us, is not generative AI. That's what you and I access. The majority of AI is predictive. It's used in, oh my gosh, marketing, it's used in manufacturing, it's used in all kinds of areas, and we're not aware. And this lack of transparency is causing people the anxiety about using AI, and that is understandable. So don't join that. Let people know when and how you are using the AI. And so this one around usage and responsibility. Before you take AI into your organization, create a diverse team. In 2020, I had a very diverse team work with me, and we created Canada's first unbiased grant-making software. I couldn't have achieved that if we didn't have a diverse team. It was proven that our software was unbiased by using black box testing, which is a technical term for technology. But I'm telling you, it was those diverse perspectives. As we were coding this technology, we would have discussions about how will this impact this group, this language, this ethnicity, this age group, this gender. And if it was going to impact negatively, out it came. That was a mistake to leave that type of error-prone work in the software. So we didn't. It all came back out. So create a diverse team. Have clear guidelines. Take an hour or two to have guidelines for you, your staff, your board about how to use the AI. Make sure you have testing and evaluation. I mentioned that a couple of minutes ago. It's really, really important. Right now, people are using ChatGPT or other Gen AI in their personal lives. They're not, they're just accepting whatever it tells them. And it's often, not often, but it can be error prone. Don't have that in your organization. And then creating channels for reporting and addressing concerns. Your clients, your staff, your board members need to be able to say when they have found some problem with the AI. You have to be able to have a way for people to report it and a way to address it. Do that. It's technology. It's just a tool. Knives get dull, scissors get dull, saws get dull. All those tools have to be managed and kept sharp. Your AI needs that same attention to detail. So this one, Deepa, job loss.
Yes, happy to take over and talk about job loss. The good news is we're not going to lose any jobs, but we are going to evolve in our roles. So the jobs are going to get transformed. So instead of we doing the donkey work that we do currently, I'm sorry to use that word, but actually I did a lot of donkey work just 2 days before AI launched in ChatGPT launched in November 2022, actually.
Is it?
I was writing a book and I just finished publishing that book like in November, just like November 15th or 17th, and ChatGPT came out November 22nd. And all up till that time, I was doing donkey work. Literally, I was transcribing every interview because it was heavily research-based. I was transcribing every interview manually. I was writing every case study manually. I was proofreading, editing everything manually. And now I just command the AI. I drop a link to my recording in Gemini, and Gemini transcribes it. All I have to do is verify the work. So what I'm trying to say is that there is going to be no job loss. There's going to be job transformation. So you're going to go from doing the donkey work to basically being the boss of AI. You're going to verify the work of AI. You're going to make sure AI is doing it right. So verification takes not more than 5 minutes. And for AI to do anything doesn't take more than a few seconds. So this is the speed we are talking about. And imagine the productivity. Everybody operating at this level of productivity. And imagine that in our nonprofit space. If every one of us is operating at that level of productivity, how much more impact can we make? And then you can do things that you've never done before. Like, for instance, this morning, I'm going to be releasing a music video very soon talking about fast fashion. How fast fashion sells you a t-shirt for $2, but doesn't really reveal the true cost of making that t-shirt, which is basically environmental harm, human harm. Like, it basically costs like maybe $10,000 to make that t-shirt, but they're selling it to you for $2 because that's capitalism, right? So I've used AI to create to create that music video, including the music is created using AI. So now we get access to all these tools we didn't have before to tell really compelling, shocking, or highly emotive stories about our work. So I think it is such a gift to our sector that we should not even think twice about whether to use AI or not. So the good news is there is going to be no job loss. There's only job transformation. You're the boss of AI now. And with all the free time that you have, you can now spend biking around, spend more time with your kids, right? Like spend time with your kids, spend time with your friends, like socialize more, like, you can truly achieve a balanced life now. Otherwise, it was like the burnout is so high in our sector. There are so many reports of burnout, but now AI can help us relieve that pressure, and we can get our work done faster. You're a verifier now. As Tina has already said, your job is to verify the work of AI. That's your sole job, actually. And think with AI, so.
Yeah, Deepa, I wanted to give a couple examples so people get clear. Years ago in offices, they had secretarial pools, just women who typed all day long. But then they got word processors, and all those secretaries moved up to being administrative assistants. They didn't have typing pools anymore. So it's not like women couldn't evolve, that they had the opportunity for their jobs to expand, and they had even more skills to bring into the work environment.
That's
and
right.
we have that great example from that movie Hidden Figures, where it used to be human beings who were the computers, and then of course computers came along. But all those people who were human computers, the women, the men, they were genius mathematicians. Do you really think they just went home? No, they became programmers and teachers and professors and scientists. So work can and should evolve. And with AI, it's going to.
It is, yeah. I'm glad you gave that context. And also, like, it will give us time to imagine and to think, because right now we are so bogged down with our day-to-day tasks that we don't really get to sit back and imagine how much more we can do and the kind of impact we can make, So I guess with AI, we'll have time to think. Right now, we have no time to think, basically. And so your jobs aren't going anywhere. In fact, I would say that if you're not using AI, then you might get affected. So start using AI. Tina, next slide.
Yeah.
Dealing with bias. So yeah, that's another common concern that I've seen in the nonprofit space, that AI is biased, AI is biased. So my question to you is, are humans not biased? Humans are very biased, and AI is trained on all the knowledge that the humans have put on the internet. So it's a reflection of our society. So humans are highly biased, even if I try to correct my bias does come out sometimes here and there, like, even though I'm very conscious, right, about things and stuff. So AI is trained on the collective knowledge of humans that we have put on the internet, because it's trained on all of the internet data, open data sources. And that's why the biases are there in the AI models. So for instance, if you say create an image and you do not specify, or you're not specific. So it's very important to be very specific with AI. So if you say, I want an image of a community garden with people in it, it might just create an image with all white people in the community garden. But then if you say, I want an image of diverse set of people in the community garden, or I want an image of Black people in the community garden, then it will follow your instructions. And the thing is that you can iterate. So even if you started off not knowing that you had to be this specific, you can see the image and then you can make the changes. You can iterate from there on, So, so the biases in AI can be fixed. And for instance, I keep talking about this example of how bias in philanthropy always creeps in, right? Like people who are judging the applications or reviewing the applications, sometimes they'll take a look at the name or the last name or the address, and biases kick in. Even if they don't want to kick in, they'll be like, oh, women is applying, maybe she's not that great, right? Or if her last name is something, or the ethnicity is something, the biases kick in. But you can have an AI model or an AI system that is completely free of bias. It is completely blind to all these factors, and it just evaluates the application based on what is it that we're trying to achieve with this money? How should we dispense this fund? This is our objectives. Let's give money as per those objectives, and let's forget about everything else that's there. So you can totally build unbiased AI systems, and bias in AI can be fixed.
Next one, the environment.
The environment, yes, the environment. So I think it's very important that we look at the history first before we start talking about the future. So in the history, like if you look back, every time we made any tech progress, like big technological progress, has always required massive amounts of energy. So when we moved from having no electricity, like completely living in the dark age, to having electricity, that was massive investment. But we don't talk about it because we're so used to it. We're so used to electricity. Imagine if we live like a week without like no electricity, but we wake up with the sun and we sleep with the sun, and we don't do anything after the sun, the sun's down. Basically, that's what our life was. But it has improved productivity. Kids can study in the night. There are still places around the world where there's no electricity, and you have to literally shut down everything that you're doing as the sun goes down. But that was a massive investment in energy it took. And then we moved to industrialization. That was a massive leap in in energy usage. And so internet too. Like right now we are recording this. We have Zoom calls. We use Facebook. We use LinkedIn. We use Instagram. All of that is requiring energy. So why are we so concerned about the energy usage with AI? AI is another big technological leap. We are at the very beginning of this transformation. It will demand a lot of energy. And the good news is that people have already started to think, the AI scientists, really credible people, like the ones who are actually like building these models and stuff like that, they're already thinking about more energy efficient ways of powering their data centers, which will be more solar, fusion, things like that. So it'll be highly energy efficient. It'll be cheaper. It'll be more cost effective to read or to chat with AI and get knowledge than to go to a bookstore and buy a book, because the book production is more cost energy. It takes more energy to produce a book than to just chat with an AI and get knowledge.
I wanted to. Oh, sorry. I want to give an example, Deepa. There is a Canadian, an Indigenous company in Canada called NADLI, NADLII, NADLI.org. And they're reusing shipping containers and putting small modular processing plants inside the containers, and then distributing these across the north in Canada. Now, this is going to reduce our environmental footprint in AI usage significantly. We will not need those huge data centers that we see in other places in the world. This is going to be the improvement because people are concerned. Then we also have the effect of needing to have data sovereignty in Canada. When we contain our data here, when our AI usage is here, that's going to be met. That's extraordinary, not to mention the economic benefits that will happen on the band's lands across the north of Canada. So it's one solution, but it's a great one. And like Deepa was saying, people are trying to solve this. So that's fantastic. But now, what do we do personally? Deepa?
Yeah, personally, I would say do not spend time saying, please, can you do this with me, or thank you and all that stuff. It takes compute. Just command the AI as if it's there to help you. Like I literally say, stop this nonsense, scold the AI, yell at the AI. It does get scared and does the work better. So those are few ways to like really minimize your environmental footprint is to treat AI like it's there to serve you, like it's definitely there to serve you. And I would say start using AI for everything that you're doing. because in that way your speed of execution will go up, and you will be able to make far more impact, because we are in this space to make impact, improve society, right? Imagine, like, I'm creating a music video to talk about fast fashion, and how many people are going to see it? At least 100 people will see it, and maybe will learn it, and it's actually very glamorous, so I bet a lot more people will see it, and they will learn about fast fashion and might think twice before buying a $2 t-shirt. So haven't I made impact, like environmental impact, using AI? So we can do things at scale. We can launch a massive campaign at scale using AI, which is impossible to do it without AI, And literally one person can change the world. Like, one person can create such a ripple effect with the content that they create, because and reduce the environmental impact caused by fast fashion, which is actually the second most polluting industry, fast fashion.
Yeah, it's a great example of AI for social good, like to bring that kind of awareness. I mean, I know from my personal behavior, when I want to reduce my environmental impact, if I have a question and I know that there's a single answer to it, I'll just do a Google search. Because I don't need full power of AI. I haven't asked a problem. I don't need the entire internet to answer that question. And so I can reduce the energy usage right there, just by thinking ahead of time about what it is that I need. The other thing too is that different models use energy at different levels. So I use DeepSeek because it's a different model. That model uses less energy. And what I do, because people have concerns about our data leaving and things like that, is that I delete it and I anonymize it. So I can use DeepSeek like I can all of the much, much bigger LLMs, but at a much smaller environmental footprint.
That reminds me, I should tell you that there are also other models that does not need to be on the internet. You can, like, for instance, the new Apple phone, if you go and buy 17 Pro, already have models downloaded on the Apple device. So you're not even logging into the internet, and it's just using whatever is there, like the energy, like your battery, basically, to chat. So it is highly energy efficient. You have an AI, like they have 10 different options. You can choose from 10 different models that are sitting on your device. So there's data privacy, because your data is not getting onto the internet. It's using the battery, your phone battery. So it is highly energy efficient that ways. And what Tina said about DeepSeek, which is an open source model, if you want, you can download that model and run it on your own laptop if you have that much space, and it's not using energy then, of serving you every time.
Yeah. It's our own behaviors, what we can do and what the big companies are doing about the environment, because everyone is concerned, right? We want to do our best. This is a nonprofit sector. So that leads me to this one. Deepa, take it away. Good AI and bad AI.
I think you should go with it. For me, AI has just been good. And I would say that as good actors, we should just start leveraging AI to do more good. Because bad actors are not going to stop. Right? Like bad actors.
Yeah,
sorry.
You're so AI forward. I just love it. Love it.
I'm just saying that bad actors don't care about responsible AI ethics, AI bias, AI environmental impact. They're already doing bad stuff, right? And if we good people are scared, or by the fear mongering that the media tries to generate most of the time, then we will not use AI, and we will not do good. We are already responsible people, so we know how to responsibly use technology. We always question ourselves before using technology. Is it doing good or is it doing bad, right? Because we are responsible people.
Yeah, I have several examples, and I hope that they can really sway you, that there are people from the nonprofit sector who've created sector-specific AI, like Deepa. She made GrantOrb. We haven't even had a chance to talk about GrantOrb. AI grant writing services. Oh my God, don't we need to improve how we do grants? Yes. There's also the Islamic family from Edmonton they made fantastic AI for frontline workers. But as an example of social justice, their AI, not only does it improve the morale and experience of their frontline workers by reducing frustration, hassles, the administrative load, but it serves clients better in a way that means that people who are seeking social services don't have to go to several organizations and tell their story over and over and plead and beg for service. This AI helps encapsulate and build a profile so that doesn't have to happen. And not only that, it also has communication technology. So if someone's first language is not English, it will send them a text in their own language about information that the organization needs to get to them. And they can reply again in their own language through the AI that will come back as a response that the nonprofit professionals can read and respond to. Isn't that a good use of AI? And I'm telling you, that is an improvement for social justice, because people are so beaten down when they are carrying their stories and having to go place to place. The economic impact of having to spend bus money, single mothers dragging their children all over the city to try to get assistance, improving their access to service through AI. I love that group. I appreciate Islamic Family so very much. But they are just some of the examples that we have. I mentioned Natalie a few minutes ago. The Navigator, they're in Toronto. They are for program development to shorten and improve your program so that you don't have negative impact on clients, right? I mean, that in itself, how many of us can talk about the programs that we did that we thought were going to hit the mark and really improve people's lives, and in some way we didn't achieve what we intended to? How does that feel for all of us? So the list here of the bad AI, of course, is that what we see when people are driven only by profit. You know, corporate America has an awful lot of bad AI floating around. We all know it, and we've been impacted by it. It's not necessary for us to conduct ourselves that way. We have really good reasons to use AI for good, for social good, and I really implore you to do that. So the second last slide, of course, is our call to action. Deepa, lay it down.
Yeah, please feel free to get in touch with us. Like, we both exist on LinkedIn and we actively write about AI and social good. I have a dedicated newsletter and I do a lot of how-to guides, and I think everybody should get on the bandwagon of using AI because it's such an amazing technology. If you're not using it, you're losing your time, basically, doing stuff that AI can do it in seconds. So imagine like you're taking 5 hours to do something that AI can do. Like we people are already taking 5 seconds to do something that you take 5 hours to do. So it's your loss. Yeah. So I would suggest that follow it's AI for Nonprofits newsletter. And Tina is also on LinkedIn. Tina Kraus, look for her and look for me and connect with us. And I think that's the best place to get started. If you guys are looking to win grants for your nonprofit, then definitely use GrantOrb. It's I must say, it writes better grants than humans.
It's good.
And
yes.
And we've now built AI like sourcing of grants, which is all agentic. The best part is you can command the AI, say, write this grant for me, provide a short description, like this is the grant I want to be written for this grant application, and shut your laptop and go for a run. Come back 3 minutes later, like the AI will notify you, will send you an email saying your grant is ready. Here's the link, check. And as I said, now your role is the role of a verifier. You read the grant and you're like, wow, this is amazing, but I want to make this tiny change. And then you go update with AI. And again, shut your laptop, go have a cup of coffee, come back. AI will 3 minutes later say, hey, update has been made. And you'll be like, wow, this is awesome. And then you take the grant and you submit. So basically what I'm trying to say is that in past, if you applied for 5 grants, you can totally apply for 1,000 grants, because now we're also helping you find grants that are relevant to your mission. So you should go for grants ranging from $500 to $1 million, because there's no stopping. It's effortless now. So that's my thing. And then obviously any concerns about responsible AI, and Tina is the best person to talk to. I'm sorry, I use AI responsibly. For good. Responsibly for good.
I am always on about it, but policies and stuff. Yeah. But I want to tell a personal testimonial on using GrantOrb. So I was writing a grant a few months ago, and I was having trouble with verification in terms of, could I actually submit the grant to the organization? And so there were emails back and forth. You know, they wanted to see some summaries and things like that to decide whether my proposal was going to be eligible. So I thought that I wasn't going to be able to submit. And then the morning of the day for submission, I received an email saying, we would like to receive your proposal. But I'd been misled for a couple of weeks and I wasn't ready. So I got on GrantOrb, and I got the proposal done in 5 minutes, and I spent the next hour editing, because that's my job, right? Humans in the loop, we make the decisions. I was looking at the costing. It even did the budget for me. So I verified it against all my information. It was right. It was accurate. I sent it. The day that a grant had to go in, I spent 1 hour and I sent it. So use the GrantOrb. It's AI for grant writing. It is that good. I guarantee it. Yep. And as we mentioned, there is other sector-specific AI available to you. Improve your ability to impact social justice. Use AI for social good.
That's it. Thank you everyone for listening to us. As I said, if you have any more concerns, please connect with us on LinkedIn. Feel free to send us a message. You know, we're happy to address all your concerns. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments down below? You see our emails, we'll address them. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.